The Earnestly Speaking podcast is a show that is founded on free-flowing conversation and may at times venture into mature subjects. Listener discretion is advised.
Yeah, Earnestly Speaking podcast. Let's get it. I'm a giant in New York, in Miami carry heat. So much more in store, my product can flood the street. Opinion Nation Godfather, CEO. Pop in the late 90s, gon' see me blow. Oh, got my hustle on, no imitation of that. Army of untouchables, Opinion Nation staff. Never an off season, homie, check the numbers. Heart throbbing my own right, supplying southern comfort. Earnestly speaking, my ego is well fed. Earnestly speaking, you're too evil and no threat. See, I'm like a hurricane, you're a mild breeze. Earnestly speaking, leaving Eli a dynasty. Shake!
Earnestly Podcast. Back here, of course, with Kris. Oh, where the hell does that go?
What's up?
Where does that go?
Get my list.
Yeah, man. We are doing a special episode now. We're gonna rank all 32 NFL quarterbacks heading into the season. Now, the original idea we had initially was gonna do go by conference. We're gonna do like 16 NFC, 16 AFC. But I was like, you know what? Screw it. Let's just do 32 all in one. And we call it a day. Much like we do with the NBA every year, we do like obviously like two different previews. Do like the top 25 players in the league, and then we do the season preview. Of course, we'll do the same thing here. So we're gonna do all 32, 32 to 1. Any questions before we get started?
Nope.
Pretty self-standard. Okay, so 32 for me. I have the combination of Jarrett Stidham and Bo Nix in Denver. Although, look, I know you guys saw week one preseason with Bo Nix. Obviously, it's preseason, so I want to put too much stock into that. Pretty good, not bad. I'll say that. Zach, you got 32.
I have who I think should start, the rookie Drake May, and for the Patriots.
Oh,
I know they're saying Jacoby Brissett, but look, they're gonna tear that team down. There's no way Jacoby Brissett is a starting quarterback for that team. So I'm going May.
yeah. According to Chris on the text, I think he is currently the starter.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Jacoby Brissett, I believe, is still a starter right now.
And
Yeah,
is he confirmed to start week one?
I mean, they're not going to say that yet, but
Okay, I wasn't sure if they made that announcement yet. That's why I was curious.
I'm going Gardner Minshew, number 32.
get the no.
That makes
Just a dude
I don't understand that. Why so low?
That is so disrespectful.
He's
I
a guy
agree.
who comes in and just he'll get you a game or two, but once tape's out on him, just doesn't perform. He can never sustain anything. He is the guy that he can come in on an injury, same game, like come in mid-game and just ball out and maybe get you one more game as a spot start. But whenever he's had, like, he takes the job over, he sucks. He's fucking trash.
He almost took the Colts to the playoffs last year.
He went
Who?
7-6 with the Colts. Richardson was out by week 4.
Yeah.
And gets that team so good, they should have made the playoffs easy. They should have walked into that.
What?
No one had Houston mean as good.
How
Last
the
year?
hell can you figure they're a great team?
We'll see this year.
Yeah.
32?
I promise you.
I'm
Gardner
not sitting
Minshew,
there-
32.
I'm not sitting there saying that Uncle Rico is this, like, diamond in the rough, but 32?
That is insane.
I
Damn.
can't wait for you to hear who I have 31. So,
Dude, if this is a sign of things to come in this podcast, oh my Lord, fireworks.
I figured it out already. Chris is going off of their college tape, whether it's
No.
6 years ago or not.
no.
Yeah. All right, 31, I got the combination of Drake May and Jacoby Brissett. Again, we don't know who's starting the week one. That's
Yeah.
why I combined it as well. It should be Drake May, but Brissett probably going to be the week one starter, I imagine.
Yeah.
So, nothing to say there. The New England will be the worst team in football this year, I believe.
I agree. Totally agree.
Yeah, Zach, who you got 31?
I got Bo Nix. I don't even think Stidham has a chance. I think this is Bo Nix. and I don't think he would play for any other team. So he's 31 on my list.
Okay, third one for you, Kris.
Deshaun Watson, he fucking sucks. He is so trash. Browns Deshaun Watson is so shit. I don't think he's thrown for 300 yards since he's gone to the Browns. He's so bad. He literally only starts because of his contract. Joe Flacco had to show him how to play quarterback after he came in last year.
Kris coming up with the takes here, man.
No, it's true, though. You really look at Deshaun Watson since he's joined the Browns, he's so bad. He's terrible.
I'm not saying that he's not. I'm not disagreeing that he's bad. Is he 31 bad?
Yes.
I mean, that's a take, though.
He's got a great offensive line, great running backs, pretty good wide receivers, amazing tight ends. He hasn't produced. He's awful.
Wow. Okay.
Tell me this. Do you think they looked better with the shell of Joe Flacco last year?
What a question.
Yeah. You're telling me 30 gajillion-year-old Joe Flacco's better than you?
We're not disagreeing that he's not good. We're disagreeing with the 32.
Deshaun Watson's that bad.
Jesus. All right. I mean, if he's that bad, I would. If he sounds, you made him sound he's 32. I would put Minshew ahead of him at this point.
No. Gardner's not good.
Okay, 30 for me. Well, it was JJ McCarthy and Sam Darnold, but now McCarthy's out for the year, so it's Sam Darnold now.
I have Darnold there too. I was going to cut it just because I have Darnold there too.
Yeah, I mean, I have a question for you guys. Should the Vikings consider trading Jetta? If should they consider and do a tear down? No. Because they'll get more for Justin Jefferson if they ask you what because of the contract.
They won't get shit for Jefferson now because of that contract. $35 million a year for a wide receiver.
I think CD's about to hit that same number, so I don't think it's going to look like that bad a deal anymore.
No.
And in a couple of years, it'll probably get blown out of the water.
You're going to give up first-round draft picks to pay someone $35 million?
I just don't think the market's there. I think they want to be able to give JJ the opportunity.
Well, I had JJ way higher on this list, so I thought they had an actual chance of competing with JJ at the quarterback position. Sam Darnold, he's 30 on my list as well.
Oh, perfect.
I got Sam Darnold.
That's gonna be the last time we all agree on one spot.
Well, that and number one probably. Well, maybe I'm wrong.
Number one,
right? Maybe, yeah, maybe we'll see. All right, 29 for me. I got Bryce Young. He can't be more worse than he was last year. And I can't even so much blame him. That team was just horrid last year. No O-line, no receivers. That team was just trash. Panthers. Oh my God. He can't be any worse than he was last year. Maybe he could be. I don't know. 29 who you got, Zach?
He can't be any better either. He's 5'10". He's never gonna see over the offensive line. I got Bryce Young.
We're saying that Kris has Bryce Young ahead of Deshaun Watson behind Bryce Young. Wow.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
29. I have Bryce Young so many spots higher than this.
Wow. Take another take. Look at that.
I'm going Jared Stidham, Bo Nix, whoever wins this job, 29. I think Sean Payton's coaching. Look, I know Jared Stidham, you have to go all the way back to high school until he was a 5-star prospect, but the raw talent's there. Same thing with Bo Nix. I think Sean Payton, I'm not going to lie to you. This is Sean Payton's legacy right here.
I agree.
If he fails with the Broncos in this quarterback situation, his whole legacy is it was Drew Brees that made him at this point. You didn't know. It was like a Brady Belichick type thing with Payton and Brees. But Payne completely melts down with Russ, then melts down again with the guy he picked. I think his legacy, he goes from that offensive guru genius type to just another dude that got lucky to win one ring. Because you look back at the rest of New Orleans, they were just a bunch of early playoff upsets. They have just been bounce so easily.
Not only
throughout
that,
the years.
there's also a lot of 7 and 9s in there too. Also, this is why I say Sean Payton is one of the most overrated coaches I've ever seen.
But
This will
they also
confirm-
had a couple of playoff runs get screwed at the end.
One, come on, that one.
The Rams game,
PI,
come on, we're still doing
dude.
we're still doing that PI thing now.
Oh,
It's been 5 years, brother.
I'm sorry. What would that have done to both those guys' legacies? Changed it completely, right?
Yeah.
Oh no.
To me, this is his make or break year. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that he'll have one of these guys ready.
Right.
So I'll give him at 29.
My one pushback about that, Chris, is, and granted, he was a coordinator when this happened. He also did turn around Curry Collins' career too in New York as offensive coordinator. But again, he's a coordinator at the time too, also not the head coach. So to your point, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying there. Okay. We're now 28.
Yep.
Yeah.
28. I got Will Levis, Tennessee Titans. He has some flashes last year, but you got to see more. Obviously, sample's small, so we'll see what there. We'll see. But 28 Will Levis. We got 28, Zach.
Man, we're operating on the same thought pattern here.
Zach and I always
Chris
in the
is
same
on
pattern.
a whole different one.
Whatever drugs Chris is smoking, I mean, let me know.
Yeah, I got Will Levis, man. He's had a couple of moments, but he plays like Josh Allen, but he gets injured, so it hurts his chances.
He's another guy too. Also, I'm really fascinated to watch this year. See if there's any.
Yeah.
They got
a ton of weapons.
And they tore down a team now.
I'm about to say, new coaching. They went complete offensive staff now.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Very excited about see Tennessee this year. 28 for you, Chris.
Either Brissett or May. I mean, I have this situation the highest out of the three that were in competition, just because Jacoby Brissett is actually a really good quarterback. So, out of respect for him, I'm going to put them at that combo at 28.
So real quick, Chris, do you believe Jacoby Brissett is a better quarterback than Gardner Minshew?
100%. Light years.
So
Without
Gardner
question.
Minshew was able to win more games with the Colts than Jacoby Brissett.
Different teams.
And they had about the same. They had almost the exact same team.
No, different teams.
Okay.
Chris is a hot take artist.
No,
man. I love
it's
it.
Truth. Jacoby Brissett's light years better than Gardner Minshew.
All right, 27 for me. I got Jade Daniels, Zach's boy in Washington. But another guy I'm excited to watch this year. And the only reason he has this low is because he's a rookie. Again, we got to see it. But I think this team might be sneaky competitive this year. 27, you got Zachary.
Look, bless your heart for going at my quarterback like that. But you know Daniel Jones is worse than him. I mean, Jaden Daniels hasn't even laced up his shoes yet, and he's better.
100%. 1,000,000%. That's so disrespectful, Ernest. So disrespectful.
It's Daniel Jones at 27. I'm sorry.
Okay. Everybody's picking on Daniel Jones. Every show I go on is picking on Daniel Jones. I don't know because of me or because of the fact that he just sucks, which he does suck, for the record. But, All right, 27 for you, Chris.
Derek Carr, man. He is we've realized without that elite O-line he had in Oakland back then, he has not produced like a really good season. He left a lot of plays in the field last year. He had a solid lineup, and he just has not put it together ever since then. Like, Derek Carr has fallen off a cliff.
Yeah, he has.
And I have him at 27.
Can you turn it around?
I think we see what he is at this point. Like, at this point in his career, I mean, he was like a fringe MVP candidate like 6 years ago. Now he is like as journeyman as it gets. He is the lowest end starting caliber quarterback where your team's like, well, we're not going to blow it up, but we're not going to win it all this year. That tight.
And that's really the Saints in a nutshell.
Could he have like that crazy Brad Johnson, Rich Gannon like comeback towards the end of his career? Maybe. If he goes into a team with like, say like the Browns, like Joe Flacco walked into, where anyone could just walk in with a big arm and make things happen, sure. But I just don't see it for him at this point. Like, I saw all I need to see last year with the Saints, and it wasn't very good.
And the thing is, too, also, like the Saints are one of those teams who could do that. And they have the environment to do it also. Like the NFC South is meh. So it's not
And
hard
so
to
is
make
it.
a splash. You know what I mean? Not make a splash. All right. 26 for me. My boy AR-15, Anthony Richardson. So, obviously it's simple, small, but I will say he showed the few games he played last year, he did show some promise. He's got to stay healthy though, man. That the big concern coming into the league was that he was not he had a lot of health issues. So, but I like AR-15. I think if he stays healthy, he has tools to be a really good quarterback in this league. It's very exciting to watch too. On top of that, so 26 for you, Zach.
I agree. He's got some tools, but I don't think being able to play quarterback is one of them.
Oh,
But
God.
just having physical talent and the athleticism that he does puts him ahead of almost everybody else on this list. So, yeah, this is where he belongs.
And this is an injury last year. This was also an injury that actually really hurt me last year. I was like, man, I was looking forward to watching him. Because I was saying last year coming to the year that of all the quarterbacks coming to the league, this is the one I was looking forward to watching the most.
He is a brick house too. Like
he is.
For his speed, it's insane.
He's got to put it all together though, man.
I hadn't had a chance to root against the Florida quarterback in so long. I was watching every one of his games, hoping he would suck.
Speaking of Florida, real quick, do you see the over/under? Real quick, what little side note? Do you see the over/under for this year? The Gators
was it like 4.5 games.
4.5. Oh my God! When's the last time you see Gators 4.5 win total?
I don't think ever.
Take the under. That's easy over.
All right, Ernie, I got your boy Danny Dimes, 26.
Okay. So nice segue for me because 25 is Danny Dimes is all too 25. This is it for him. This is it. And I'll say this too also. It's not enough for him to do as good as he was 2 years ago. He's got to surpass that bar too also on top of that.
What, the 12 touchdowns or something?
What the hell it was when he went to the playoffs and won the playoff game. It's not enough to do what he did that year. He's got to take the leash off. If you're going to ride this thing out another year with him and possibly in the future, take the fucking leash off. Let him sling the ball. If he sucks, so be it. You got the contract anyway this year, so let it loose. Okay, yeah. They gave him weapons. They got like neighbors and those guys. They got enough weapons to build around. Go from there. If not, if he stinks, he's gone. Just that simple. So Dimes 25 for me, 26 for you, 25 for me. All right, 25 for you, Zach.
25. I have Jaden Daniels.
Okay. How scale 1 to 10? How excited are you about this kid?
I'm scared, man.
Why are you scared? Oh, because RG. No, just kidding.
Yes, and
okay, I was right.
Skinny. He can pass way better.
He is small.
RG3,
he is small.
He just looks thin. So
he is small, though. I will agree with that. Right. Okay. 25 for you, Chris.
Will Levis.
Okay.
Enough flashes to get me to this point where, you know what? He got to enjoy seeing tape this full season and see what he's got.
Okay. All right, 24 for me. This is where I have Deshaun Watson. I'm holding out hope, man. If he fucks up this year, man, he's number 32.
You think the shell of Deshaun Watson fucking better than Daniels is crazy.
Well, his thing. This is the first year now where he'll have clear vision now, clear training camp with no distractions. Come to the year, no one's talking about him. He come out under the radar. This is it. So the coast is clear now, and he has a good team around him too. The Browns are a very good team.
Like they weren't good the past 2 years.
That's what I'm saying. He has a good roster. So if he can elevate to somewhat even close to where he was in Houston, this team could be a problem. But we got to see it first. So 24, Deshaun Watson for me. What about you at 24, Zach?
At 24, I got a guy whose running back didn't show up last year till like halfway into the season, who was supposed to be an all-pro, Jonathan Taylor. Defensive guy is just retiring. I got Gardner Minshew at 24.
I like it.
EJ, you have him higher than that, and I just realized that. Oh my goodness, you guys are ridiculous.
Because Zach and I on the same vibe, brother.
A guy that I think still has something left in the tank, but I hope he fucking sucks. I got Russ. Russ at 24.
Wait, why do you think he sucks?
Whoa.
Why do you think
No.
he sucks?
He's a Steeler now, so I hope.
Oh,
he sucks.
right. That makes sense.
I think he has plenty left in the tank.
Thank you.
But being he's a Steeler now, I hope he sucks. But
Well, you know how I feel about Russell Wilson, my favorite player in the league. So I'm rooting for the guy to do well. But this is his last chance. This is it.
No, it's not. Trust me, it's not his last chance.
Well, you know what's the funny thing though is I believe that Russell doesn't want to be he will retire before being a backup. He's not going to try to ride this thing out to the end. If this is his last starting opportunity and Justin Fields beats him out either in camp or later on in the season, and he just the league has a consensus that he's a backup, what more does he have to prove? He's got a rich wife. I think he just retires straight up. Like, he's made plenty of money. I think he retires. So I think this is like one of his last stops if it doesn't work out for him.
I can see that. I actually agree with you on that. I can see that. I can definitely see that.
He's kind of like that AI-ish personality. Like, AI was like, I'm never coming off the bench. Like, I'd rather just retire than just prolong my career being on the bench. I see Russell as that type of diva.
And what sucks too, also about with Russ too, he showed signs last year of being not quite Seattle, but close to it. There were moments last year.
Absolutely.
Which is why I hate Sean Payton so much. Like, he just quit on the guy. But whatever, I get it. All right, 23 is what I have Gardner Minshew / Aiden O'Connell. But I think Gardner Minshew will be the starter. I imagine. So we'll go Gardner Minshew. For me, again, I don't know how the hell you have 32. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous, Chris.
The tape's been out. He ain't good.
Who's that?
Gardner. The tape's out there. He ain't good.
Okay. 23 for you, Zach.
I'm sorry. Dude hasn't played a minute in the league yet. I couldn't put him any higher. Caleb.
I'm excited. I'm so excited with this kid. Did you watch the first game against Buffalo?
Yeah, he looked good, man. He looked real good.
Again, you want to put some stock in that because, again, it's preseason, but, man.
Yeah.
You ready to see. I think the Brown. I think when we do our preview, next week, I think the Bears are going to be a sneaky, very sneaky wild card team in the NFC. That roster's pretty good.
Super easy schedule,
and they got a nice roster too that around him to secure him. So it's about, if he can just play well, not overdo it. This could be the 7th seed in the NFC this year. But we'll get to that on over-unders next week when we do that. All right, 23 for you, Chris.
AR-15.
Okay.
He showed me enough, and he got to sit behind Gardner, and he got to learn how to dink and dunk and incorporate that with explosive style.
Wait, behind who? Behind who? The guy at number 32?
Yeah, he got to learn his whatever.
So you knocked the guy for being the worst quarterback in the league, starting quarterback in the league, and yet he learned from that guy?
Well, he had to learn how to not get hurt and little things that you can do. Not that he's going to learn much. He has way more talent than Gardner will ever imagine.
No, he has way more physical skills.
Gardner's one of those guys that everyone loves because he's fun. He's got the stupid mustache, but at the end of the day, he's just not a good player.
He's not a everyday
complete 50% in college. Okay.
This is a project. I think we all realized coming last year that this is a project.
Yes.
So
this one,
but someone worth trying. So, all right. 22 is why I have Caleb. Can't go higher than this because he hasn't played yet. But again, this guy, the sky's the limit for this kid. I can see this guy being considered a top 15 guy next year. Maybe for the top 10, given a lot of guys that are in that 6 to 15 ratio that may be out of the conversation by next year. So if Caleb Williams can show some signs this year, he could be in that 15 discussion next season. So I'm excited about the Bears this year. I'm really excited about the Bears. So, all right, 22 for you, Zach.
22. This is where I have Deshaun Watson.
Okay, higher than me.
Look, there is still a chance. It's coming up towards the end of his contract. He's going to want to start showing he's worth some money again. That's what I'm hoping for.
Blew out his shoulder, dude. He blew out his shoulder, guys. What did we not realize that he was knocked out for a shoulder surgery? Like, guys.
Okay. I remember Drew Brees had a shoulder surgery.
Oh, fucking hell.
Didn't Nick Saban say, "Oh, you know, he had a shoulder surgery, and what happened?"
So 22 for me. You have to remember who his head coach is now. He turned around Gino. He turned around Baker. He's going to do it again this year. Dave Canales led offense is going to take Bryce Young up there. Bryce Young, 22.
It's interesting.
He's got a QB guru, and he's going to really. You're going to see why he was taken number 1 overall last year. 100%.
Yeah.
They got new weapons around him. Deontay Johnson from Steelers drafted a kid in first round. Hopefully, I pray his offensive line is a little better. But I think this guy has done it 2 straight years in a row with journeyman quarterback. Now he's got a nice, young, talented quarterback. I think you're going to see how good Dave Canales is as a mind and how talented Bryce Young will be behind good coaching.
I hope they brought in some shorter offensive linemen.
Oh, my God.
That's so mean. All right, 21. I'm going to go with Geno Smith in Seattle. A little bit of a disappointing year last season. That's getting that money, 3-year contract. He didn't have a bad year. It just didn't get better than the year before. After he showed signs of being maybe he figured it out, and he kind of sort of regressed a little bit. So
You lost the coach.
Yes, right. So this might be his last chance to. If Seattle does not, if he just show up this year, then I think Seattle's in the market for quarterback. So 21 Geno Smith. What about you, Zachary? 21 for you.
If there was any team sitting at a blackjack table that could be screaming 21 and getting lucky, it's got to be the Steelers. 2 cheap-ass quarterbacks that if one of them shows up and can lead their team to the playoffs, I mean, you're hitting. So, I still have faith in Justin Fields. I think he can be a good quarterback in the league. And I'm like you, Ernest. I do believe for half of last season, Russell Wilson was a really good quarterback. So
he was in a really bad situation. Sean Payton did not want him.
You didn't want him. And how could you succeed in a situation where your own coaches want you there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
even when he played,
even when he played well too, that's the worst part. Even when he played well, he was still toxic. You know what I mean? It's disgusting to watch, honestly. Mm-hmm. All right, 21 for you, Chris.
I got Caleb. I think he's my second highest rookie. I think he'll have some turnovers this year. I think he'll be a very exciting player to watch. He's got a lot of good weapons. His style still needs to get toned down, I think, just a little bit. So I don't think he's going to have as good a year as Jaden, but he's a good player.
That's Caleb Williams, 21, right?
Yep.
All right, let's go to the next 10 here, from 20 to 11. All right, number 20, you got Derek Carr. This is it. Get it done. It was shut the pot. Bottom line for the Saints. I mean, he could turn it around and get back to back to when he was with the Raiders 2 years ago. Not even say be a Pro Bowler, Derek Carr, just at least be serviceable. And in that division, that could be enough to win the NFC South. So, yeah, get it done. So I'll go Derek Carr at 20. What you got, Zach? 20.
I got Geno Smith. After last year's disappointing season, I wanted to put him higher on the list, but I just couldn't. So, look, I hope he bounces back and does something special again.
Yeah. I mean, and he could. I mean, he's in good environment, but all the Pete Carroll's gone now, so we'll see how that plays out. All right, 20 for you, Chris.
I'm gonna go Baker.
Ooh, okay.
He still makes questionable throws,
he does.
But he's got talent, and he's a good player. He's not great. If he wasn't drafted number 1 overall, I think he would get all the commercials he did right away. I don't think he'd receive as much hate as he gets right now. But since he was marketed so heavily, I think he still gets overlooked. But I'm 20. He still turns the ball over too much.
Still very Favre-ish without the Favre charm. If you know what I mean. So yeah, I'm with you on that one. All right, 19 for me. This is where I have Russ Wilson. Again, I believe I agree with you. If his time is up next year or so, doesn't work out here in Pittsburgh, and there's no starting jobs out there for him, he walks to the sunset. I definitely see that. I agree with you on that one. So, yeah, 19 for Russell Wilson for me. What about you, Zach? 19.
Well, one, I think Russell Wilson could be playing for Dallas next year, so he's got options at starting quarterback. But at 19, I got David Carr.
No, Derek Carr.
He has put up numbers wherever he's gone, no matter who his coach is. You got put with the worst coach. One of the only coach worse than Josh McDaniels is Hugh Jackson. All right. You can't get put with the worst coach other than what he got put with. So to do what he did last year, I think Derek Carr still has a chance.
There you go. Corrected. He said David Carr earlier. His brother.
Yeah.
Doing it for years though. No big deal. All right, 19. What you got, Chris?
Give me Jaden Daniels. Give me a guy who played like
Ooh.
6 years in college.
That long?
Yeah, he started at Arizona State, got injured, redshirted, transferred to LSU. He's been in college forever. You didn't see the highlight of him throwing a Brandon Ayuk? Dude, Brandon Ayuk's working on his 5th-year option.
Oh, Nix has been there for 7. Like, come on, give
But Jaden Daniels is an elite talent, and I think he's the most pro-ready of any of these guys. And I think he has some decent talent around him. I would not be shocked if he put up big-time, like, fantasy numbers. Like, they're not obviously going to win games. Like, the Redskins are fucking atrocious, but he's going to make them fun to watch.
Yeah, I agree. I think he'd be sneaky decent this year.
I think he's going to put up some video game numbers on some games.
Yeah,
he's going to look like Deshaun Watson with the Texans early in his career.
I can't wait till we do over-unders next week because they're going to they're one of the teams I'm looking at like, oh my god, let's see the schedule because I think this team can win anywhere from like 7 to 9 games next year if they play the cards well.
But I think his style of play translates a little better to Caleb early. I don't think he's a better prospect overall, but I do think this year in particular, Jaden will look better than everyone else in this class.
Is he rookie of the year favorite probably, or in the conversation with Caleb?
Or Marvin.
Yeah,
Marvin's going to put up some monster stats. Malik Neighbors too. Neighbors, they're going to put those 2 wide receivers in particular are going to put up some big years.
Yeah. Hopefully
they're stepping right into like the absolute number 1 position. I think Marvin Harrison has a better chance because Kyler's a lot better than Daniel Jones. So
of course.
I think Marvin Harrison could be one of those non-quarterbacks to finally win it.
Right. Okay. 18. Give me Kyler Murray. Pick up the Cardinals. When he came out last year from injury, he actually showed some signs of being decent. I mean, he could be back to that top 12-ish conversation very easily. He's still pretty young. A very good player. He just has to get his head on straight. That's all. But I like Kyler Murray a lot, actually, as a player. So give me him an 18. We got 18, Zach.
Give me that short white guy playing over in Tampa.
Baker Mayfield?
Baker.
Yeah, Favre light.
And right. I got Geno at 18.
Okay.
I think he's shown enough to where, with the weapons around him, he's established himself as a serviceable starter in the NFL now.
Yeah.
And now he was with Dave Canales, turned his career around. He lost him. A slight regression. So let's see with McDonald there now, who's not an offensive guy, if he's going to be able to kind of at least get back to that first plateau where he turned his career around or not. So I think he can with DK and Tyler Lockett. So.
Yeah. All right, 17. I'm going to go have Baker here. I got to give him credit, man. He went to the playoffs last year at Tampa, won the division, I believe, and also won a playoff game. and they were in that game with Detroit late in that playoff game. So far in Cleveland and now in Tampa, he's went to the playoffs and won a playoff game each place. He does have a certain pedigree that if his head's on straight and he's focused and not turning the ball over, he can be a problem. But it's about putting it all together. And last year, him and Mike Evans, they had a phenomenal year together.
I was gonna say, I'm glad they paid Mike Evans and kept him as a buck for life. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think Baker's really a good quarterback. I think that's another guy that if he may have found his home here in Tampa, and he can crack this top 12-ish situation if things play out. I guess
I'm happy he also signed a friendly deal.
Yeah.
He could have got paid more, but the fact that he took 3 for $100 really looks like a steal right now.
And because if he proves himself to be a good quarterback next 2 years, go back to the well. He's still young enough.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right, 16, middle of the pack. For me, I got. Oh wait. Did you do 17 yet, Zach?
No, at 17, I have Kirk Cousins.
Okay.
Me too.
Oh wow! And I have him at 16, so we're gonna run that up real quick.
Kirk is one of those guys where you thought he was really turning a corner, but he really didn't play that good last year before he got hurt. He's coming off an Achilles tear, so I have him at 17. Yeah.
So you have him at 17, Zach 17. I have him at 16, and for the same reason because right middle of the pack. He's a decent quarterback, solid. Okay, but he has injury now. Where is he going?
Yeah, if he didn't tear his Achilles, I'd probably have him a little bit higher.
Yeah, absolutely.
1 or 2 spots.
I do enjoy where he's going. He's got talent.
Yeah, he does.
And they've got a solid O-line, too. That's cannot be, forgotten about. Solid O-line, good young talent around him. Could, prolong his career a little bit.
Absolutely. All right.
He's got a dog behind him waiting to take his fucking job, so I don't know.
All right, so I have him at 16. So who you have at 16, Zach?
I've got Murray. Kyler Murray.
Okay.
Me too. Look at me and Zach.
Same thing. Situation.
I got Kyler.
So I can tell exactly what quarterback screwed you in fantasy or cost you in bets.
Minshew.
Oh my god.
That is not it.
So why do you start Minshew in the first place? Even in the bye week. Why?
You drafted Watson the year they benched him and wouldn't even let him play.
No.
Yeah.
That's a you
You gotta
problem.
let it go. You gotta let it go.
Yeah, that's a you problem, buddy.
That's a lot of hate for carrying around for a while.
When you guys are gonna say, "Oh well, Antonio Pierce, first-time head coach," you're gonna make up all the fucking excuses for him when they suck. Oh, he lost Josh Jacobs. He has Devontae Adams. I don't want to hear anything when he fucking sucks this year. Okay.
That's mean. Mean for you.
All
right. So we're at 16 still, right?
Yep.
So that means 16 for you then, Mr. Krizmanic.
No, we both had Kyler.
Oh, that's right. All right. So 15 for me. Jordan Love, 15.
Wow.
So it might seem low.
Oh my God.
I think the sample is what I'm concerned. It was a small sample of success. I really want to put him higher, but the guys ahead of him have already shown that they have shown better.
I thought I had him low. Holy shit.
No, I want to put him higher, honestly. I really do. I think he's trending the right way, but the trend has been very small.
I feel like me and Zach have the same number 15.
So I have Jordan Love 15. But as I looked at my sheet, I wanted to turn and change it and put Trevor Lawrence at 15.
I have Trevor Lawrence at 15. Dude, Trevor Lawrence is so overrated. Oh, my God.
Dude, so I've been saying for last year that he feels like a letdown, a little bit.
He is a supreme letdown. And the contract he got for that?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And I got yelled at, too, because I'm like, oh, well, he had to come back against the Chargers in the playoff game. Okay, and?
That's the one thing that put him ahead of Jordan Love.
But you know what's the crazy thing is? It's not even the comeback. He made him. He put him in the fucking deficit. Yeah. 3 interceptions the first fucking half.
Right.
It's not like the team played bad and he had to come back. Dude, he put him in that spot and then somehow came back and threw 4
And I'm not
touchdowns
even
in the second
using
half.
I'm not even using the Urban Meyer shit. The Urban Meyer was a disaster. So that doesn't even count.
Yeah. No,
Urban,
he's been underperforming.
If for a guy of his caliber, a guy that he was billed to be the
generational
quarterback in the way we view Andrew Luck in 2011.
Yes.
So that I'm basing on that. That's all.
Zach, you should have went T-Law. I thought we were right there going T-Law 15. You sold me
Like
out.
I said, as I looked at my list, I realized I should have put Trevor Lawrence 15.
Jordan Love is the only reason he's this low is because of the sample.
Yeah, exactly. It was a second half sample.
I would never put Love as high as I did. I guess as high as I did now, but he did shit on fucking the Cowboys in the playoffs, so you gotta give him something for that.
He did. All right, 14. I got Tua.
Me too.
No.
Okay.
He's got too much talent to underperform like he does.
At 14, it's Trevor Lawrence.
Okay. So real quick on Tua. Okay, you get your money. Cool. He stayed healthy last year. Cool. You can beat the Carolinas of the world. You can beat the New England of the world and all these teams. Yeah, that's cool.
Be good teams.
You're a playoff team. Probably win the division this year. Should. Is there another level of Tua? Can he go to another level? That's what I want to see. Because he's being paid as such.
He hasn't won a playoff game yet.
No, has not.
So,
and granted, lost to the champs last year. I get it. But at the same time,
they got throttled too.
Yeah. Can you beat Buffalo? Beat Buffalo. That's all I'm asking for. Beat Buffalo.
He has to be healthy enough to beat those guys too.
Yeah.
I got Tua for that same reason. I just think his stats are inflated because he's got Tyreek and Waddle.
Absolutely.
And McDaniels as his head coach.
But for Dolphins to be a real Super Bowl contender, he's got to the next level. And if he does, the sky's the limit for this team.
Oh, I know you guys are gonna hate me for number 13.
Okay, so 14, real quick. 14 was Lawrence for Zach, right?
Yep.
Okay. 13 for me, I got Brock Purdy.
That's wrong, man.
Disrespectful. You're so disrespectful.
Let me tell you my logic here. I think this is all quarterback. This actually was probably one of the hardest ones to put. He and another quarterback was the hardest ones to rank because I did see a 3-game sample last year where he didn't have his weapons. And he not just regressed, he massively regressed. Okay? There's a 3-week sample last year during their 3-game losing streak when they lost Samuels, they lost Trent Williams. And who's the third guy? McCaffrey missed 2 of those games. And he just regressed massively. So I have to balance that out. Yeah, I'm going to credit you for playing well with those weapons, but the small sample where you didn't have those guys playing with you, you literally shit the fucking bed. Like you weren't even good.
I think everyone does that though.
No, they don't though. Except
they don't.
They lost a lot of. You're talking about left tackle, number 1/number 2 receiver. They lost a lot of dudes in that time frame.
They literally played 6 games in a row without Trent Williams at one point. So
Brock Purdy needs to get more love. You're one of those media guys.
No.
You're one of those guys.
I think Brock Purdy's a good quarterback, but he's also, he showed out in the playoffs too. Also,
you know how I can answer? How I know you're wrong on this?
Why?
Because here is my guy, and it's Tua, and he has weapons and still can't beat good teams and can look bad. So you have better wide receivers overall, a better run system.
Yeah.
And yet Tua can't beat good teams.
That's why I put him ahead of Tua. That's why I put Brock ahead of Tua.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, Brock Purdy should be higher than that. The man should have went to 2 straight Super Bowls pretty much. If he doesn't blow out his elbow in the first play of the game,
the Eagles,
that's a whole different game against the Eagles.
Yeah, you're probably right. But I'm not penalizing him. He's 13. He's 13.
Okay.
So, but like I said, I think my list, again, 6 through 15, maybe even 16, could at some point next year be in top 10.
Of course, yeah.
That's the thing, though. So it's not like I'm not penalizing Brock Purdy.
I guess I have this guy criminally low for you guys, but he's got probably the best O-line in the game, good run game, good weapons, and I feel like he is kind of overrated. He went from being shit to good to underrated, now back to being overrated. That's Jared Goff at 13. I think
No.
he is the reason why they did not go to the Super Bowl last year. You can't not score like any points in the second half of a game. Like,
Of your top 20 picks so far, that's your worst take.
no, look at the talent around him. That guy's got stacked O-line, stacked running.
I've heard worse than this one.
Shut up.
Huddle Up
Stacked
Podcast.
wide receivers.
Huddle Up Podcast. Matthew Mulizan, a regular on the show too, also had him at 21. So trust me.
Jared Goff is at this point, especially when he's getting paid now, he's kind of overrated again. Like towards the end of his Rams career, everyone's like, oh, yeah. Especially when Stafford won, everyone's like, oh, it was really Goff. That was the reason why. And now he's turning it around with Detroit. But now he's at the full cycle again where he's just overrated. He should be about 13. Like, he's like 12 to 15. He's probably never going to be higher than that.
No, I can see the argument. I definitely see the
It's
argument.
going to be a lot higher tonight.
So I had Purdy 13. Zach had Tua 13, right?
Yeah.
And you had Goff 13. 12 is where I have Trevor Lawrence. Too high, right?
Too high.
But barely. Couple spots.
The guy was, I had him in top 10 last year. So it's not like, I'm
100%.
not,
He has a chance to make a big leap, but I just don't see it.
of course, yeah. They should, and to be fair, too, also, the Jaguars last year, we shit the bed. He missed a couple games of injury, too, also, to be fair. But, again, remember, he was billed as the next generational quarterback. So I'm judging off of that, too, as well. Jags have to get mad at me all they want.
He's got new wide receivers now, so we'll see what he does. He's got Gabe Davis come back home. He's got Brian Thomas, the first-round draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Christian Kirk still there. So you can't make up any excuses anymore for him.
Right. Okay, so 12 for you, Zach.
This is the one y'all are going to hate me for.
Uh-oh. I don't know what it is.
CJ Stroud. It was one season, people. One season.
Oh, that's crazy.
I just want you to see who's coming up and be like, okay, well, maybe he's not better than them yet.
Let me tell you why I hate that. Let me tell you why I hate that, though. I hate that excuse. Pat Mahomes' first year as a starter. You, on this podcast, said he's the best quarterback in the league. I'm sold.
Okay.
He
so
put
that should tell you
MVP season.
I can see a quarterback. And
TJ Stroud was in the conversation for that, too, also last year. Houston Texans won a total of 11 games in the 3 seasons combined prior to last season. This dude comes in there, not only change that season around, they win a division, make the playoffs, win a playoff game in his rookie year.
Yeah. And without, like, stud wide receivers by any means, too.
Like, I get the whole, like, it's one season. I don't want to overreact. But sometimes you just know. You know what I'm saying? You just know. Okay?
Yeah.
With Pat Mahomes, I said it. We all said it. Within the first half of the first year. Best quarterback in the league. We're done.
All right, he threw for 50 touchdowns and, like, 1 MVP. It's slightly different conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the impact is almost similar in a sense.
No.
I will say this about CJ Stroud, and people need to realize this. The man played fucking awful in the preseason. So people shouldn't get hyped whether your guy's super good or super bad, because he threw a pick. He threw four attempts his first game, threw a pick, then started his career with no picks in the first fucking 8 million throws. So calm down if your player is not playing amazing in his first few preseason games, because CJ Stroud, I think that's a big curveball too, is he did not show it in the preseason and then just balled out. But I have another one-year wonder. I have Jordan Love at 12. And I thought I'd have him the lowest out of all you guys. We'll see. He put together the beginning of last year didn't look great. I mean, the beginning of last year did not look great either. but he was tore up the second half.
Yeah.
So we'll see if he can put together a full season before he enters the top 10. He's tied for highest paid quarterback right now, which is fucking absurd. But I think, it could have been like they just didn't have a established number one wide receiver, and the talents just they just have a bunch of really good guys. They don't have a great guy and complementary pieces. And we'll see if he gelled that second half and he just continues on. I have some kind of Josh Freeman doubts about him where he might plateau hard this year. So I don't want to put him in the top 10, but 12 is where I got Jordan Love. Him winning the playoff game in Dallas definitely is what projected him a little higher. There's a lot of dudes at Tua that have not won playoff games, so that's why I'm not going to put him up.
And yet, this guy, CJ Stroud, did the same thing Joe Love did. Now, granted, Joe Love's been in the league 2 years, and did it at a higher level, as a starter, the entire year's rookie year, and all that, and still won a playoff game. And I'm not saying you'll have him as low as Love, but the fact that Zach has that low is kind of crazy. I understand the whole overvaluing things and overreaction. Believe me, I know all about that. But sometimes you just see it. Sometimes you just get it.
If you hear CJ Stroud in an interview and you hear his IQ is out of this world, that's the one thing people don't forget.
Yeah,
don't forget if his kicker doesn't shank that field goal at OSU, they beat Georgia and they go on to go slaughter TCU like Georgia did.
He did it about Marvin Harrison too.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. All right, so 12. We're on 12 now. So at 12, I had Trevor Lawrence, CJ Stroud for Zach, and you had Jordan Love. Okay, 11. That's where I have Jared Goff. He was getting top 10 looks to me last year, especially too. He had that streak for a little while where we had 400 passes on interception. Pretty impressive. He's had some really decent years, especially with the Rams and especially Detroit. I do think people do overvalue. This is a guy that gets overvalued. I will say, this guy's a little overvalued.
Yes,
I'm not saying it's bad. He's number 11. It's not bad, but people do overvalue this guy. And now he's got his money. Let's see now with the money. Now that all the bullseye's on you now. Now that you're the favorites in the NFC North and possibly one of the three best teams in the conference. Let's see now if he come through. I mean, he's been to the Super Bowl before, so he has pedigree.
I've never seen a dude go from number one overall pick, bust first year, then underrated as he takes the Rams to the Super Bowl, then overrated again. It's just a crazy life cycle for Jared Goff.
Mm-hmm.
Peer pressure in a big city, man, got to him.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the number for me. I got Jared Goff. We got number 11, Zach.
So you guys want to keep talking about overrated. Here is overrated. I played 4 snaps, and you still think I'm a top 10 player.
Yes.
Ain't no way you're getting into my top 10.
I got
A-Rod. You're coming off an Achilles and played 4 fucking snaps.
I got A-Rod 11 as well. Me too. A-Rod, back-to-back MVPs 2 years ago. Don't matter.
And one of them was bullshit.
You're old and you're coming off an Achilles. I'm sorry. I got him at 11 as well.
I respect it.
I can't believe Ernest has him top 10. What a ridiculous.
Zach Ray knows how much I love Aaron Rodgers, so he gets it. No, I get it, man. I totally get it. Trust me. So both of you guys have at Rodgers 11.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least you have him in the top 12.
Yeah.
You leaving it open for a possibility of him changing the narrative. So yeah.
Yeah, of course. I mean, they've got talent in New York. Who knows what happens?
Mm-hmm. All right. Top 10. Here we go. Number 10. This might surprise some people. Dak Prescott. He had a rough look. So, arguably his best year of his career last season. Probably his best year of his career. MVP, conversation all 9. But again, it's the playoff failures. And I feel like there's really no more upside. I think what we saw last year is pretty much the best we're going to get from Dak Prescott.
Absolutely.
As and look, it's not a bad thing. He's top 10 quarterback in the league, but there's
Yeah.
a ceiling. There is definitely a
Is
lower
it
ceiling.
Dak's fault that they gave up like a jillion points in the
No.
first half?
I'm not blaming for that loss, but remember, there's multiple losses they've had in the last couple of years that Dak has not been able to elevate to the next level. Again, not his fault, but again, also not doing enough to elevate. So I'm holding like he should be in the top 7 to 6 by virtue of the regular season success he's had the last couple of years. But at the same time, is you gotta get it done, man. I mean, I'm not blaming him for the loss last year, man, but there's a ceiling there.
The great thing is, if it wasn't for Aaron Rodgers hitting Jared Cook on the sideline for like a 40-yarder, where his whole career is redefined differently.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was phenomenal in that game.
He was. That playoff game, he was unreal.
All right. So, Zach, who's your number 10 quarterback?
At number 10, this guy probably leads the best team in the NFC. Last 2 years in a row, he guides the ship. And I heard both y'all complain about how, this quarterback or this quarterback when they don't have their weapons. Well, every quarterback sucks when they don't have their weapons because all you do is practice and train with your weapons. And hey, he's got good weapons. But every good quarterback on this list in the top 10 has great weapons, except for Patrick Mahomes. So, guess what? Brock Purdy, you are a top 10 player.
Brock Purdy, number 10 for me. Look at me and Zach just syncing up
God.
now.
Normally me and Zach on the same page. And we got a couple times on this podcast, but holy smikes.
Yeah, me and Zach been on a run right now.
We had it late, Ernest. He's come along.
Yeah, he's come along. I think he's finally, it took a couple of years, though. But
Brock Purdy's number 10. I mean, the man, he gets it done with the talent around him. You can't blame him for the talent around him. He gets it done.
And that's why he's at 13 for the same reason. Because I put him ahead of Tua and Jordan Love for that reason. So I'm acknowledging that, but I got to see, anyway, I explained earlier. Number 9 for me, this one was tough actually. But I do think this is, with this new coach now, especially too. I think this will be a turnaround. Justin Herbert. I think Jim Harbaugh being there is going to light a fire. Obviously, the Chargers this year are going to be a little rough with their salary cap situation and and not having all wiggle room. But you have Jim Harbaugh. I think the sky's the limit going forward for this guy. In the future. He has the talent to be a top 3 quarterback in the league. He has the talent to be right there, Mahomes and Lamar and those guys we consider top 5 guys. It's just a matter of getting it all together and having a team. I think Brandon Staley did him a disservice the last couple of years. I think he was terrible. So
Staley's been a lame duck for a year.
Yeah. He did a disservice to Justin Herbert. I think having Jim Harbaugh, a guy who's a quarterback whisperer, a guy who has pedigree, been to the Super Bowl, everywhere he coaches, he wins. I think this could be the start of Herbert really being the guy we all thought he had been coming into the league. So Herbert at 9, but I expect to elevate this number by next year or 2. Number 9, Zach, you got?
Number 9, look, Dak, stop bitching about your money, man. The only reason why you have any advertisement dollars is because you are the Cowboys quarterback. Look, you're good, but you're not $56 million. You're not 57, 58, and you sure as hell ain't 60. Take 50-some mil and let the other players on your team get paid. But you're number 9 on my list.
But guess what? He'll get close to that number, though.
He has the only difference he has over other guys, he has all the leverage in the world.
Yeah.
Him not being able to get franchise tag is so, insane.
I want to watch him choose $1 million more at some high state tax place instead of staying in Dallas. I want to see that so bad.
Mm-hmm.
So I have CJ Stroud at 9. I'm surprised that Ernest has him higher. That's a little too much, but CJ Stroud, it's amazing, man. He is a next level future elite quarterback, gonna take the reins type of dude. IQ out of this world. It does concern me just a smidge that he does so much like podcasting and shit off the field. It kind of feels like he's a little busy off the field, but overall, kid's special. He did it with Nico Collins and Tank Dell. Now you got those guys another year in the league. Hopefully they both stay healthy. Plus you have Stephon Diggs. Sky's the limit. But I can't put him any higher than that. The guys,
I understand.
The top 8 are just they have proven it for too long now that you can't put them ahead of them.
No, I get it. I don't necessarily hate what you did there, but he's the top 10. I mean, Zach had 13. Was 12? 12.
Well,
that's a little more.
That's fair.
But yeah,
9 to 12 is about right. Yeah.
All right. Number 8. This is where I got A. Ron, Charlie Rodgers, and I'm doing this because of okay. He should be lower. I agree, but look, we haven't seen him play football actually in 2 years, really.
Mm-hmm.
Could you tell me the last time he threw for 300 yards?
It's been 3 years, I think, close to it. Good
Might
question.
be wrong.
I miss. This is a shot in the dark, man. I could be completely wrong about this, but this is it. This is Rodgers here. I think if they don't make the playoffs this year and Rodgers is average and gets hurt, I think his career is over this year. So a lot of things can happen. You can see the Rodgers either get back to the guy who was close to who he was 2 years ago in Green Bay, the MVPs, or this is the end of his run. So we'll see though. But number 8, I know this is definitely a shot in the dark, but Rodgers number 8.
Well, since CJ Stroud at 12 pissed y'all off, this one's really gonna fucking piss y'all off. Took a team to the Super Bowl in LA. He just barely missed it, taking a team from Detroit to a Super Bowl. All right. Yeah, he got some weapons, but his running backs keep changing. They keep trading away one wide receiver every year. They keep trading away. They literally traded away an all-pro tight end on him and drafted a rookie. And he turned that rookie into an all-pro. All right. Jared Goff earns props and deserves to be top 10, and he's number 8.
Way harder than us.
Yeah, because y'all are terrible.
I don't. The guy they traded for him. I have Stafford at 8.
Okay.
Well, Stafford's at a point where his career's coming to an end.
Yeah. And for the record, we'll segue at 7 because I got him at 7. So, yeah.
And
same thing.
He is probably one concussion away from his career, like his wife telling him to fucking retire. So,
without
there
question.
is that. But the way he took Puka and a banged up Cooper last year and almost took him to the playoffs, Stafford's impressive. But yeah, he's 8 for me.
No, I see it. I'm 7 as well too for the same reason that you have him at 8. He bounced back last year. He bounced back in a big way. He had a Super Bowl title. Then he had the injury riddle season after that. We were questioning where he'll be, and he bounced back last year. That great playoff game against Detroit and the wildcard game too. Also played phenomenal. Mm-hmm. So he's. But now obviously not having Aaron Donald, we see how things will play out going forward. But
yeah, because Aaron Donald was catching a lot of passes.
I'm just saying though, the team itself will leadership the whole 9.
It was surprising that he and McVay both stayed this year, which is odd to me.
Man, you knew Aaron Donald was retiring because he got all that cash up front year 1 as a signing bonus. Mm-hmm. He was saying peace out.
I'm shocked though. I thought if McVay and Stafford stayed, that he would stay too. So it's interesting to me.
Yeah. All right, so 7 for you, Zachary.
At 7, I have Herbert.
Me too.
He maybe deserves to be a little higher.
Probably.
And you can maybe blame the coach or you can blame the wide receivers for getting hurt. But some of these other guys deal with all that and they still manage to find a way. So, Herbert at 7.
Herbert at 7 for me as well.
I don't hate it.
This is a guy who he had a play-in game against the Raiders, lost it to go to the playoffs early in his career. He got spotted a 28-0 fucking halftime lead in a playoff game and fucking lost. Like, he's just missing it. Like, he is just puts up good stats. He's missing that clutch gene right now. And going into this year now, new coach, both his top targets are gone. Mike Williams and Keenan Allen are gone. Eckler's gone. Granted, those guys, Eckler's beyond his prime at this point, but he's got a whole new cast, including coaching with him now. So this will be the year, if he just balls out year one under Harbaugh with all new weapons, then he proves that he deserves to be top 5.
Absolutely.
But I still think he's a smidge overrated right now, so I got him at 7. But it could go either way. He might be looking like in that 10 to 12 range next year if everyone keeps ascending and he kind of stagnates, which I could see because of all the changes around him.
Yeah.
But as of right now, I'm still going to give him respect. 7.
All right. Okay, number 6 for me. This is what I got Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
You too?
Yeah. Look, he may not be the best passer, but 4th and 1, goal line, no one's better.
Yep. A great leader. He had a little bit of a down year last year. I mean, he was injured, obviously. A lot of infighting.
It was weird because
very weird season.
He started kind of weird, hit a big stride middle.
Yeah.
And then ended terrible. So,
right. But the whole team fell apart, though, not just him.
Yeah.
So, 6 you got.
I got Dak.
Oh, okay.
I got Dak coming off of a monster year. Like 2 years ago, you're like, man, maybe Dak ain't it. Last year, balls out. Can't deny it. He's never been the issue that they lost playoff games. It's never been Dak's fault. People want to make him out to be this playoff choke artist. The team has underperformed. The coaches have been fucking awful. The coaching decisions have been terrible. Was it his fault not to audible on a QB draws with fucking 19 seconds left in the game with no timeouts? Like, he does what the coach tells him to do. They're terrible fucking plays. He has 1 year where that year of destiny when him and Zeke were just on another level, and then Aaron Rodgers pulls out that last minute fucking just miracle of a throw to beat him that year. Sucks for Dak. His whole legacy could change at that point. But at the end of the day, it's never been his fault. He's had one bad year in his career so far. Besides that, the man's done his thing. He gets a lot of hate, but at the end of the day, he can't be any higher, obviously. But the man wins.
He does. And the thing is,
he puts up stats, he wins, and he's never been the reason why I've lost in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. Look, he is a top 10 quarterback. No one disputes that. It's just my issue is, okay, and this is where these next 4 to 5 guys separate from the rest of the pack. These guys elevate to the next level. You know what I mean? So number 5 for me, this is where I got CJ Stroud. Again, small sample.
Stroud at 5?
Again, small sample, but sometimes you just know.
I cannot wait.
I brought up Pat Mahomes because it was the same feeling I had in 2018 when Pat Mahomes took over the league out of nowhere. Like, yes, that's the guy. CJ Stroud, not on the Mahomes level like that, but I had that same feeling. Like, yeah, that's the guy. Again, a Houston Texans team that 3 years prior won a combined 10 games, 11 games combined. Okay. What do you do the first year? This as a rookie quarterback, brand new head coach, they win the division, win a playoff game. In that conference too, especially. That's saying something. So that's why I'm my. Who's 5 for you, Zach? He knows how he knows how Stroud. So
look, at 5, I got the one quarterback who you never heard of his wide receivers till he made them great. Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua. I'm sorry, never heard those names in college.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't hear Cooper.
He's phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Give me my man Stafford. All right.
The only reason I didn't put higher though, Zach, is because of the injuries. Otherwise, he wouldn't be my top 5.
Yeah, dude slings it better than almost anybody.
Oh, without question. I love Stafford. I mean, Chris, I know you get to hear this, but I was elated for him when he won the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Bengals fan. I know. I was happy for him though, because Stafford. I mean,
I was happy for Andrew Whitworth too.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, I don't disagree with that with Stafford. I mean, he's probably the best quarterback in that conference still.
No, he's
Probably.
not. My number 5 is the best. Jalen Hurts is the best in the NFC.
Okay. I don't hate it.
Proved it. Take him to the Super Bowl. He's got the weapons. I think he had his one sloppy year, but even in that sloppy year, they still won 11 games, still made it to the playoffs. Like, give me Jalen Hurts. They disappointed, but the team forgot. They forgot how to tackle. The whole team was a disaster. He still took them to the playoffs.
I really believe he had a shoulder injury at the end of the season.
Yeah, he did not look good either. So,
right.
Tush push, the whole 9. How you stopping that? He is a good player.
Very uneven season. You're right. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, number 4. Now, again, I think we all have the same 4 guys.
We do all have the same 4 guys.
It's a matter of the order. Number 4 for me, I have Joe Burrow.
I have the most injury-prone guy too. Burrow.
Again, so the same way we view Lamar Jackson the last couple of years, the injuries, we now have to apply that same premise to Joe Burrow now too. Same guy gets hurt 2 years in a row.
One question though.
Not 2 years in a row.
We know Burrow's injuries full well, and they were legit for why he was out. Do we still believe that Lamar's injuries were really
Lamar could have played that playoff?
The last one he played. No, I believe Lamar was hurt.
Stop.
Did Lamar play it up? Yeah, also correct.
Okay. That's why I'm saying the most injury prone.
And guess what? It doesn't bother me one bit. I don't give a damn.
Yeah, no.
I don't hate it because Burrow missed the second half of his rookie year, torn ACL. Missed the second half, and he did not play great to begin last year either. Before he got hurt, he went on a good stretch after that, and then got hurt. Still the only guy to beat Mahomes.
True.
So I have Josh Allen for. To me, he's almost in that Dak level where you can say it wasn't his fault, but that year they lost to Cincinnati in Buffalo, that was his fault. He played like shit. Yeah. And the two losses to KC, you're like, oh man, he put his team into the game to win. Okay, shit happens. But the 2 years before, or 2 years ago, against Cincinnati, they hosted that game, and Cincinnati came to Buffalo in a snowed-out field and fucking smacked them upside the head, and Josh Allen played terrible. Now, granted, was he banged up? Who knows? Because they almost lost to the Dolphins the game before that with fucking the third-string quarterback in there.
Yeah.
So, but Josh Allen, I'm not going to lie to you, man. I could see him having kind of like, he's really following that like Cam Newton career path where he's putting his body on the line every game, and when he falls off that cliff, it's going to be hard. If he doesn't learn to stop running the ball and taking these fucking shots, I don't care how big you are. Cam Newton was the biggest quarterback in the league and most athletic guy too.
Yeah.
Once you fall off that, you fall off. And he needs to learn to step out of bounds, slide more. He before his career really takes a turn for the worse, he needs to start doing that. But down 4, he's super talented. He is going to be a perennial MVP candidate every year just because the amount his team needs him to do. Now, hopefully, with Joe Brady there and they turn things around after Ken Dorsey left, maybe they'll run the ball a little more with James Cook. And it's going to be weird because he lost Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis, so let's see if them running like the 2 tight end package more is going to make them a little better. And we'll see if he can take the next step with less talent like Mahomes did last year. Prove that no matter who's he's thrown to, they're making it all the way. So let's see if Josh Allen has that in him. This is going to be the year for him to prove that.
So I got number 3, number 1. I got number 3. Is that number 3 as well too?
No, at 3.
Oh, okay, pause. Okay, pause. Don't say that. I think Josh Allen this year I think the Stephon Diggs trade, in my opinion, could be an addition by subtraction. Not saying that Diggs isn't needed there, because Diggs is a phenomenal talent. But Diggs demanded the ball so much, and there was so much friction between those two guys the last couple of years that came out in the media, that I think Josh Allen now could be comfortable now just throwing the ball around. Now, we'll see if the Keon Coleman's of the world and those guys he has on that roster can fill in the spots there. But Josh Allen as a pure talent is right there with Mahomes in terms of pure talent. I do understand that comparisons because of like that got to get done. At least this guy's been to the AFC title game at least. Okay. And he lost to his Chiefs on a fluke with Tyreek Hill here, it was 21. That's 13 seconds. Come on now. So Josh Allen has put himself in positions to win games. Yes, he's also had some really bad games in the playoffs. So we draw even. But at least he's had some moments where he's been at the cusp of going to the Super Bowl. But yeah, I do agree with the narrative about like the Cam Newton comparison there. That it could be a little bit of that comparison. But I do think that he throws the ball a lot more than Cam Newton did. And actually, it's a better throw the ball than Cam Newton ever was, honestly. So I think Josh Allen losing Diggs.
Don't like Cam like that.
No, I love Cam Swag. Kidding me? Don't start me. I love Cam Swag. I'm just saying that
Cam could throw a fucking football.
Huh?
Cam could not throw. Okay, stop.
That man went to the Super Bowl with Ted Ginn, his number one wide receiver. Don't you dare disrespect him.
No, but again, I think pure talent wise, I think there's a case to be made that Josh Allen's a better quarterback than Cam Newton.
He is a better.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, the pure passer. As a pure passer, give me Josh Allen.
Hold on. First off, Cam Newton had one good fucking season. Let's be real.
He had a couple good years. Don't do that. I mean, if comparing him and Josh Allen, that's one thing. But
Josh Allen regular season, Josh Allen has dominated in regular season so far. Cam Newton did not take his teams every year and dominate.
Did he have teams worthy of doing that?
You're the starting quarterback. You dictate on every play how you dominate.
So who is your number 3, Zach?
Number 3 is a guy who did not deserve the MVP last year. Lamar Jackson.
That's my number 3 as well.
So you realize Lamar Jackson is the only guy on this top 7. Hell, I'll go so far as top table 8 quarterbacks here that has never had an elite receiver.
Stop that! Oh my God!
Where's the lie, Chris? Where's the lie?
You can say Hollywood Brown was an elite receiver.
You really believe every elite receiver is an elite receiver, no matter who their quarterback is?
Joe Burrow has Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is in the top 2 receiver in the league. Let's start there. Okay. Yeah. Pat Mahomes had Tyreek Hill and had Travis Kelce. Okay. Josh Allen has Stephon Diggs, top 10 receiver in the league. Jalen Hurts. Come on now.
Amon St. Brown. Would Amon St. Brown be a top 10 receiver with Lamar Jackson? Would Cooper Kupp be a top 10 wide receiver?
Are you suggesting that Lamar is the problem? Is that because of Lamar?
I'm saying the way in which he plays quarterback, he'll never have a top 10 wide receiver.
Mark Andrews has been either number 1 or 2, maybe 3 at worst, tied in the league. So you can't really say that.
Yeah.
Mark Andrews is a fucking beast.
When healthy.
Who should have gotten MVP last year, if not Lamar?
I would have given it to Dak over Lamar, first off. I would have looked at San Fran with Christian McCaffrey or Brock Purdy even.
Yeah, the team that Lamar did beat also in San Francisco.
Oh, jeez.
Those things matter, though. Come on.
Don't the defenses matter, too, against stopping those offenses?
Well, the elite defense that San Francisco has and will continue to have, and Lamar found a way to still do his thing.
Yeah. I got Lamar at 3 as well. I'm not going to argue whether or not he deserved MVP. I think Josh Allen could easily have won MVP last year just because.
I think you're right there, too, also.
Yeah, but I'm not going to say Lamar didn't deserve it. He had a monster year last year. He really took his passing. Obviously, they had a new offensive coordinator. Greg Roman's gone. And it took his game to another level. So
he didn't even throw 20 touchdowns.
He didn't? Let me check that out, make sure. Make sure. Lamar Jackson last year.
Look at where he ranked on touchdowns.
Well, he's also a special quarterback, too. He also does things a little differently than. So Lamar Jackson last year, oh, shoot. There we go. Stats. He 24 touchdowns, 24-7.
24.
1 and 2 quarterback rating. Okay. Not including 1,000 yards rushing or close to it. I mean, the volume of what he does is so much greater than anybody else's.
I'm just saying.
Lamar number 2 for me, real quick. Lamar's number 2 for me, and you can make an argument for number 1.
Stop.
For Lamar
No,
Jackson.
you cannot.
I
You
won't
can't
do
make
it.
any
I'm not gonna do.
argument.
Well, guys, I'm not gonna do it because
No.
Patty LeVar Mahomes
There's
is second.
zero argument for number 1.
Well, here's the thing. Pat Mahomes didn't have a great year last year. Okay? Pat Mahomes had a great ending to the season, the playoffs. Now, at the same time, the reason he gets number 1 is because the same way we judged Dak Prescott at number 10, not getting the job done when it matters, I have to give Pat Mahomes credit, his flowers when it matters. But Lamar number 2, I was saying you make an argument because of the fact that Lamar's doing more or less, and Lamar's productivity last year much more than Pat Mahomes. You can argue the Chiefs' defense and why the Chiefs were even in a position to get as far as they were, and then Mahomes took the lead after that. But Lamar number 2, regardless. Number 2 for you, Zach? Who?
Yeah, Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
Okay.
Who, honestly, if he goes to 1 Super Bowl because of a play, the Kansas City play, everything is different, right?
You mean done 21?
Yeah. Everything is, he's looked at completely different if it's not for 13 seconds.
They beat Cincinnati in that game next?
Yes,
Okay.
come on.
Okay. Chris says
Did they beat Cincinnati next year? No. You know why? It's the number 2 quarterback in the league, Joe Burrow, the only guy to beat Mahomes in the playoffs. Well,
Burrowhead?
Besides Tom Brady early in his career. But Joe Burrow, you got to give it to him. The man, you can say whatever you want about the talent around him. It's not the greatest in the world. The man won a playoff game, gets sacked 9 times against Titans. He just has it. Where you got other guys who don't have it, he has it.
Aren't people like offering 2 first-rounders for your number 2 wide receiver? And you're saying that he ain't got talent?
I'm saying say whatever you want about the talent around him. His O-line ain't that great. I don't think Cincinnati's ever had a good tight end ever in the history of our fucking franchise. Just there's a lot of things wrong, and he perseveres through that. Yes, the wide receiver core as a whole with Jamar, T. Higgins, studs. Don't get me wrong. Okay. T. Higgins started last year. Oh, sad to see that, but chances are, and the price that he wanted, and we couldn't give him that, is so sad. The Cincinnati front office should be ashamed of themselves. Seriously. But at the end of the day, Joe Burrow just has it. He's clutch. He could have beat Mahomes 2 years ago as well, to be honest. They were right there, too, in that game. So, I mean, yeah, he had a fluke. The wrist injury is kind of weird because he wasn't on the injury report. He shows up off the plane with like a sling on his wrist and then tears his wrist the very same game. And of course, NFL investigates why it was on the injury report and whatnot. It's an injury that you don't ever see on quarterbacks. So who knows how he's going to be coming back. But shockingly, he just completed his first preseason pass ever this past weekend. So he's going in.
It wasn't to Chase, though.
Yeah, because Chase didn't play.
Is Chase gonna even come back before the season starts?
Oh, I don't think he's sitting out till he gets paid type deal. No, that's not it.
Okay.
He's got time to get paid, and he will get paid. There's no doubt about it. Jamar Chase sat out an entire season. We still took him 5th overall.
I get it. But
that is Joe's boy. They're gonna sign him.
If you don't sign him before the season, it's gonna be almost $40 million after the season.
Who knows what's gonna happen with that number? But
that's what I really want to argue about one day is the price of all these wide receivers now.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy.
I think we've reached that ceiling though, where I don't think it's ever going to go up from here. I don't think you can.
CeeDee Lamb's gonna say it can.
I think it's gonna. I don't think anyone. It's like when McCaffrey a few years ago hit that like 16 a year number for running backs, and then no one has ever come close to it since. He's by far the highest paid guy.
And they gave him an extension.
Yeah. And then after like Jacob, Saquon, all these other talented guys hit the market and didn't do didn't sign for shit. I think you saw where like the running back market has capped off. I think Jefferson is at that point now where that's going to be a number. I mean, AJ Brown's at 32 behind him.
Yeah.
I think CD and Jamar slot in between AJ and Jefferson, maybe match Jefferson as well. But I don't think anyone's surpassing that. I think that's going to be the cap forever. I don't think it's ever going up past that.
No, what's wild is guy at number 1, everyone thought got an insane contract. And now what? He's middle of the road for salary.
Who Patrick Lamar second?
Yeah.
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 When he signed his 13 years, $600
million. It was 10 years for 4.
I was one of the few people that thought that was an excellent contract because it's that guy. Again, we just knew off the bat that is the guy.
I didn't think you would know yet until he lost Tyreek and didn't lose a step that it was like, okay. Obviously, he's not going to put up like, without a number 1 guy, he's not going to put up like MVP caliber, like insane video game numbers like he started his career with.
Right.
But the man wins. He's undeniable number 1 player in the league. It's not even close.
Not only that.
Not even close.
It won't require 7 rings for him to be called the GOAT. I'm going to say right now, if he wins the title this year and 3 peats, I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm there. I mean,
it's hard to argue it. It really is. The fact that he's gone, the worst season he's ever had was AFC Championship game twice, and the rest have been Super Bowls. And obviously, he's been
in the Final Four every single year since the starter.
And then
that's so impressive.
That's what I'm saying. And then the one year they lost Super Bowl, he had lost both his starting tackles the game before. He got sacked a million. It was not his fault they lost 10 that year.
Yeah,
he is insane. It is the best start to a career probably in any sport ever.
Yeah, without question. When you consider the accomplishments of both team and individual accomplishments.
Yeah.
See, Brady had to start also too, but he was nowhere as good a quarterback as Pat Mahomes is at this age. Brady eventually got to that point 7 years into his career.
Yeah, I understand that people like to think that like Brady won the whole Belichick-Brady argument because he won one without Belichick.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's not like Brady outgunned Kurt Warner in the greatest show on turf. The defense shut them down, and he barely squeaked that game out. Like, he won those early ones on, and then he got the weapons. He got Randy Moss, start putting up crazy numbers. But at the end of the day, I mean, he did not just come into the league just the greatest guy ever. Like, Mahomes just coming in, greatest player ever.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can take away from at this point saying, like, oh, it was this reason or that reason or that. Travis Kelce tears ACL week 1. He's going to be just fine without him. Like, he's just proven no matter what, that train keeps going, and it's all because of him.
He finds a way to get done. That's bottom line.
I mean, it'll be interesting when Andy Reid retires. But besides coaching, that's been the one staple his whole career. Everything else has changed around him, and he's just persevered through everything.
Yeah.
The man dislocated his kneecap on a QB sneak, came back and still won the Super Bowl that year. Like, there's nothing stopping the man. Nothing.
No, I'm with you 100%. He's, to me, he's already in the top 3 all time. He's ready Montana, Brady, Mahomes. That is your lock 3, no matter how you slice it. Okay, no one else is allowed in that bubble. He wins the title this year. It is a wrap.
He won't.
He won't though. I'm thinking the field, but
Cincinnati's winning. But yeah, absolutely.
Uh oh.
You mean they're going to it?
Damn, dog.
Does before we let you go, does Mahomes at least get to the Final Four this year?
Yeah,
of course.
The Bengals, Chiefs, from Burrowhead.
They got a whole nother Tyreek Hill and that kid Worthy.
Well, we'll find out next week when we do our season preview. So get ready for that. So,
I can't believe he lost Marquise Brown already. Jesus.
Yeah. Fellas, good job, man, as always.
Yeah, man.